Hello, everyone. As you can see, this time in the weekly JIGS TV Go news, it's not gonna be Stanislav Frejak as usual, because from the next few weeks on, he's gonna be participating in the World Amateur Championship. And as I'm not as successful as he is, I have free time, and so I'm gonna be his replacement. And so today we're gonna have a trial session, I suppose, with me. And if I do 10,000 things wrong, then he's gonna jump in. But let's hope I'm gonna survive this. Today we have news from all the major regions: Japan, China, Korea, Taiwan, and of course the most important region, Europe. With Japan, the Honimbo title match continuing, and China, the Xinqiu tournament, and Korea, the Kuksu Cup, and the Go Show title match in Taiwan, and Europe, the end of the Pandanet Team Championship, and the start of Oscar fighting his way in the Transatlantic Pro League. So let's start. So Asia, the Honinbo title match goes into the second game. They are playing in Noshiro in the Akita prefecture, which is a northern part of Japan. And today they played 83 moves, these two gentlemen. And each side, they have 8 hours of thinking time, quite a lot. And Yama already took 4 hours and 17 minutes today. And Shibano took 3 hours. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Japanese times, the games will continue. And next week, we will look at the game. In China, Li Haotong won the Xinqiu tournament. It was a 4th edition of the tournament, and it's a tournament open for male professionals up to 18 years and female professionals up to 20 years. The first prize is around 15,000 euros. Li Haotong is only 17 years old, whereas his opponent is even just 15, Fu Jianheng. Fu Jianheng was also studying Go at the Go School in Beijing, together with Stanislav. So let's look at their game. So Fu Jianheng is white and Li Haotong is black. So basically, it started quite normally and quite calmly. But then with this move, I think the fighting really started. Black didn't just let white connect back. And so white had to fight for his life. And black said, okay, let's see where we are going. Black now made a question basically either going into the framework of white or easily capturing the two invaders. And white said, no, you're not going to capture them easily. And so black said, okay, then I'm going to go into the framework. And so after a few exchanges, basically it seemed like a quite calm end to this exchange. And so they changed direction. But now with this fight, suddenly we can see black's idea of maybe fighting on both sides with his moves and having very efficient flow. So after a few more exchanges, now basically where we thought the fight was done on the lower side, no, it only just begun, black is basically saying. And white says, okay, I'm gonna defend the core And now black takes the moves in the center basically as co-threats, and white says, okay, show me, and black fiercely attacks. And after a few more, we have an exchange again, and black takes the middle, but white gains center and also got a little bit back. Okay. And now this game basically still continues on being very complicated, so I cannot really comment much more. But I think maybe this move is still a very, very interesting move. It basically looks at the wedge and then the throw in as a ko. So in center he gets these exchanges. And then the end of the game is basically when white goes for the hane, black fiercely responds, and we have this ko fight. And black uses these moves to attack the group in the middle as co-threats. White says, no, these are not co-threats. And a few moves later, unfortunately, white had to surrender to black being correct in his assessment of the group being dead. So, yeah, very chaotic position for sure. I think if you want to learn a little bit of endgame, then this game is actually amazing, because it had really fascinating endgame. So I would really recommend it. So that was a 1-0 for Li Haotong in the Xin Xiao tournament. And in Korea, the Kuksu Cup was held for the 9th time, which was put into existence, if I understand correctly, by Ha Chan-seok, who was a 9-dan Korean player who passed away in 2010. It's a tournament for really upcoming new stars up to 18 years, so also a youth tournament. And 6 years ago, someone who you might know, Chin Jin-seo, won it. The first prize is around 6,000 euro. Minjong, the guy here in the white shirt, won 2 years ago as well. And this time he beat Li Yeon. So let's look at their 2 games. It was a best of 3. So in the first game, Leon is black and Minjong is white. So they also, as I guess most professional matches, have somewhat of a normal opening. But here you can see in the lower right, white gained a lot of strength on the right side on both sides. And black next move is basically a very beautiful one, I think. It's saying, okay, I cannot invade, but at least I will reduce. So you definitely need these kind of moves also in your repertoire, because not always you can invade, and so I think it's quite nice. And okay, white also tries to get attention to the middle, and that will actually go on for this game. Like a lot of attention in the middle and a lot of fighting in the middle. So they both use a lot of moves to see what they can do there, and black is mainly trying to survive with this big group. And so after a few more moves, black basically survived in the middle with his group, and now he has another group to survive with, so white is attacking that one. And black is still very smart in how to get alive with his group, and after a few more exchanges, now he has 2 eyes on both sides. And so he's alive with both. And now probably the game is a little bit better for black, but there's still a few cool Tsujis, I think. So there's a white move, this one, which I think is nice. It basically either cuts off the 3 stones of black on the right side or the 1 stone on the left, so black can only connect and give white, after 1 more exchange, the stone. But basically in this ko, after a few more moves, white needs to surrender. And I think surrendering this ko also means surrendering the game. And in the end, black won by 4 points in this first game. So let's also look at the second game. Here now colors are reversed. So now Leon is white and Minjong is black. Very symmetrical shape on the bottom. I like that. And after a interesting exchange at the start, basically, white got the outside strength in the top and is looking to attack on the bottom side with all the strength he gained. But black got pushed down a little bit, but has very safe territory. And that's the exchange. White is still going with his attitude of developing his center. And after a bit more of a while, now black is starting to go in. This is a very beautiful starting point for that. And he continues with that idea with this move, which also is helped by the ladder breaker A. And so now we find ourselves a very interesting exchange because black just gave up the really big group on the left side. So that's actually really, really surprising. I think that was really beautiful. It's really difficult to be so open-minded that you give up such a big group just to get inside a moyo. But maybe it was a good idea. So let's see what goes on. So he finds this smart move as well to basically cut the groups in sente. And another forcing move against the dead group. And now, who's under attack? He got into the moyo. And not only that, now his real plan is starting to come to fruition, which is to attack the huge dragon of white. And so by doing that, he can maybe also establish a moyo on the left side. Okay, so after many exchanges, we get the attack on the big dragon. And he still manages here to get a few exchanges with his dead group, which is also beautiful. And the attack on the big group is still very fierce. And it even gets to be a ko. Wow. Okay, so then they fight this ko. And for this ko, white had to give back half the dead group on the lower side. So I think black is quite happy. And after a little more of endgame, basically the end is with this ko. So black is very fierce in not just defending his stone, but fighting this ko because he has a lot of ko threats. And so after a few more ko threats here and there, and 2 more here, white surrenders because he says, okay, I don't have enough ko threat. I agree. You are correct. And so Minjong won this game as well, and 2-0 he won the Kuksu Cup. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, it was his last time to join because he's too old now. But great success. In Taiwan, the Go Show title match has started with Xu Haohong and Lin Li Xiang. And so we're gonna take a look at the first game. It's a 7th edition and it's a national champion tournament. And Xu Haohong won it 2 times in a row, the last 2 times. So this time, let's see if he can manage again. So, let's see their game. So it's Lin Li Qiang as black and Xu Haohong as white. Okay, here we go. Another common opening, but this game also became very interesting very early. Here, black decided basically not to hane, but to take sente and also gain some strength for his framework, I guess. And to take this move, which is kind of big. And white made a really big framework as well, and black says, okay, I'm gonna go in. And so that will be the important part of this game, is black trying to move into the framework of white. So white is attacking very fiercely, and black is trying to move out beautifully. White is not attacking all too hard. He's with this move and many more moves, he's also always looking to get something else, asking, do you give me something for your life? And black is saying, no, I want to live without giving you too much. Now white is trying to set up camp in the bottom, in the top, and also looking for the cut at A. Black, with this move, is trying to get rid of that cut in center. And with this exchange, okay. And so he can go for the kill. But even though he can go for the kill because of all the exchanges, he has to also do quite a bad exchange with this one and give this peep. And so now white is in a really good position to attack very, very fiercely against this black group. So white is playing very safe and just beautiful shape moves with like this move. And he's even not going completely for the kill. He's still asking with like this move and this move. But after black said, no, I answer enough times, white is saying, okay, now you answered too many times and now I'm going for the throat. And so white is going very harshly for the kill, but very beautifully as well. And just a bit more with this beautiful move, the fate of the black group is sealed, and there's now more chance for black. And just a few moves later, black resigns. And a huge kill of a really big dragon made Xu Haohong the winner of the first game. So let's see if maybe he can repeat his success story of the last 2 years this year again. Let's see, maybe we will probably cover when the next games are played as well. Okay, let's move on to Europe. So in Europe, we had Oscar's debut in the Transatlantic Pro League. After last week, we had the debut of Lemi winning his first round as well after upsetting the qualification already. Oscar unfortunately couldn't repeat that upset story and lost 2-0 to Ilya without much shame, I assume. But in the B group, Lemi and Ali exchanged wins for a draw. In the Pandanet Team Championship, we finally got to the last round, and in A-League we finished with Russia once again on the top spot, and Poland, France, Ukraine joining for the top 4. But there were a few interesting surprises. So at first there were a lot of 4-0s with Czechia over Hungary, Russia over Austria, and France over Serbia. But there was also a surprising draw between Romania and Israel, with the Dobrani's brothers making it competitive, and Poland unexpectedly overtaking Ukraine 4-0. The finals will be held in the beginning of August with, again, Russia, Poland, France, and Ukraine. And tomorrow I will play, and B-League and D-League in general will play. We will Germany against Netherlands, I think. So tune in for that. Now we have an interview with Pavel Lisi. This might take a second. Sorry, guys. There's a bit of a problem.
Hello, everybody. Today we are talking to Pavel Lisi. Maybe you remember a few weeks ago we had already an interview with him. However, today we would like to talk about him. Hello, Pavel.
Hello, Maya.
Yeah.
Do you hear
so
this?
actually, we would like to learn a little bit how you learned Go. So when did you start to play?
I started playing in the year 2000 when I was 5 years old.
You are that young. I didn't know. Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Actually, it was kind of a coincidence because I was collecting beer lids and I had a lot of white and brown mostly. And one day I was playing with them and my father saw me and he remembered that when he was on the university, he was taught the game of Go. And at that time, he told himself that he will play this game with his kids because it has a very good handicap system. So he can play this game with his kids and they can have an even game. So we made the board from paper and started to play with these lids.
So you learned actually Go on a piece of paper. Oh my God. That's amazing. Yes. Okay. And then how fast you really, getting stronger, because now you are one of the 7 professionals we have in Europe, which is so cool.
Yeah. So I had a pretty good head start because my first tournament was in 2001, where I managed to go from 20Q to 15Q with 6 victories. So that was pretty good. Then I was kind of rival with my father until I reached 7Q in about 2004. Then it was kind of slow until 1Q. Then when I was 1Q, I got a chance to go to study to Korea for 3 months in 2009 when I was 14 years old.
Where have you been in Korea?
Where have I been?
Mm-hmm.
It was in the King's Baduk Center. It was some really cool study program that I could go there for free, and that was in the mountains, about 2 hours from Seoul. There were about 15 players from all over the world, and it was a really, really cool thing. It was 3 months studying, and I managed to get to 3 dan there, from 1Q to 3 dan.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and after that, when I came back, I started to play almost every day on KGS. I remember I came back home from high school, and all I was thinking about is to go to KGS and reach from 6 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing mostly Blitz because it was fun for me. So yeah, I did this, and then I slowly went up to 4 dan, 5 dan, 6 dan.
Okay.
And then 7 dan.
Wow. And so when did you become professional?
Yeah, so that was when I graduated from high school. I went to pro qualification and I won the tournament. It was in 2014.
And now, meanwhile, you won that many tournaments that you can call yourself 2 dan professional even, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we introduced the system, yeah.
And you come originally from Slovakia. And how many players do you have in Slovakia? It's not so many, right?
Well, it depends. We have about maybe 50 active players and maybe 300 players who ever played Go officially.
But who is the second and third strongest, and how strong are they?
Yeah, there's not so many strong players. The second strongest is Maros, about 4 down.
But don't you need a rival to really be that strong, or you didn't need that to really be strong, or just internet is enough?
I definitely needed a rival, and I was a rival with Maros, the second strongest guy in Slovakia for a long time. But then I managed to get ahead of him. And at that time, my rivals were the 6 downs from Czech Republic. Since Czech Republic is very close to Slovakia, I used to go there like really often, maybe more than 10 tournaments a year. And there I played many games with likes Jan Šimara and Ondřej Field and Jan Hora and these kind of guys, and I think I learned a lot from them.
Ah, I see. So that's how you became so strong. Okay. And do you have an advice for the people out there to maybe get as strong as possible? What is most important? Like doing Tsumego or playing a lot or having fun or studying hard? What would you advise?
Well, all of these things, but I think one thing all the strong players have in common is that they have played really a lot of games. Because I can tell you that there are some players who are strong and don't really do Tsumego. And there are some players who are strong and don't really study Puseki. So, but yeah, all these players played a lot of games, so that's the most important. And my advice is that if you want to be able to play a lot of games, you need to do it in a fun way. So you have motivation to do it.
Okay, and I like that because this is a very unique thing for the non-Asians. I think Asians are very hard in studying, and I don't know, do you have the experience that they also have that much fun while playing, or it's more really like a job?
I think it's more like a job. I can say because I was in also Beijing in 2014. I studied Go there for half a year in the Tsumego training program, and it was really tough because the schedule was basically from 7:30 in the morning till 7:30 in the evening. So basically study 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. And for me personally, that was really hard. And I'm not even sure if it was good. You know, like for me, it would be better if I studied less. But for them, it seemed normal, and I guess that's how they're doing there.
And for the people in Europe, if you would like to study really from morning to evening, actually you can also join JIGS. And actually there you can do the same thing from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., really studying hard if you want to do that. Yeah, but it's not Asia. So we also try to have a little bit fun, and maybe you liked it as well. So out there, play, and play. So that is the advice of Pavel to really get strong. So I say goodbye to you, Pavel, now, because I have to play now. I want to become stronger.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I'm back. Yeah, I really agree. Like, I think play a lot is very important to become better. Also, doesn't everyone kind of have had that time? Like I had that time in high school when we played with pen and paper. So that was really fun, actually. Like, yeah, it's cool to start that way because then you have that progression, right? Like when you start with pen and paper, and then at some point you have like a half, like 10 euro board, and then at some point you get a real board. Like I don't know, that was nice for me for sure. And despite playing a lot being the most important thing, maybe what's also helpful is Tsumego. So let's move on to the Tsumego challenge. So we have still 3 sections: double-digit coups, single-digit coups, and the down players. 3 problems for each section: easy, advanced, and hard. And if you have a somewhat correct answer, it's 1 point. If you have the real correct solution, it's 3 points. Just do 1 variation with the strongest moves, and if you reach 75 points, you get a prize. Please send your solutions to tsumego@gojigs.eu. in the double-digit Q grade, we didn't have a new winner yet. Well, we had a cool problem in the height section, I think, where you basically have to go against your temptation to cut the white stones, but just be fine with making your sweet 2 ice. In the single-digit Q competition, we also didn't get a new winner, and in the height problem, you needed to find also the best moves for white to find the core, and not just to be optimistic and kill it. And in the Dan player section, we have a new winner, David Ulbricht. And in their height problem, I think it was quite cool that you needed to find this sweet little Damitsumali for white. Yes. So let's see the new problems. And good luck to all of you. Problems are fun, by the way. Compete if you have the time, Take a few minutes a day with Tsumego and maybe you can improve a lot. And maybe not. Who knows? Let's end up with the Go piece of the week, which is this one. I told my student to play corner, side, then middle board. Kind of a reminder that it's very easy to misunderstand one another when teaching Go, but also maybe a reminder to be a bit more creative, Maybe when your student does this, you can take away something and be a bit more creative yourself and just try out new stuff. Because in the end, I think what Go is about is having fun. If you have any suggestions, what we could improve, or what you're missing here, or something you always wanted to know about Go, or whatever, just write your questions, suggestions, videos, whatever, at news@gojigs.eu. So, whether you're young or old, you like your shower hot or cold, you like a calm game and then count, or you prefer to throw your stones around, whether you see your opponent as friend or as foe, it all doesn't matter. Just remember to play Go. Goodbye, everyone.